Hi, my name is Tom Schutting, and this is the video for Econ 215, Principles of Econ 2. So this is the online version. That means that we're going to be doing this entirely through video and through course notes. You should be getting the textbook from Instructional Resources Technology. It should be a white textbook called Hubbard and O'Brien. And what I want to do in just this short little intro video is just go over the D2L site, show you where everything is, go over the syllabus, and just give you a few strategies for a course that can get a little bit difficult only because it's over basically a 4-week time period, a very intense time period, and so it's very important that you stay on track with things. Let's look at the D2L site first, and then we'll look at the syllabus, and then I'll just make a few last comments. Okay, so if you're looking at the screen here, you'll see obviously your own courses that you're taking. In our case, you should see Principles of Econ 2, Section 1. Clicking on that, now this obviously is the instructor view, obviously. Oh, I think maybe I can change it to your role, actually. Oh, look at that. Okay, so it looks like I am now looking at it as if I were a student. The most important tab here, well, there's really, I guess, 3 important tabs: content, quizzes, and grades. Obviously, grades is important because that's what's important basically at the end of the semester and for tracking your progress throughout. Quizzes. Under the quizzes section, it's just an unfortunate name. I wish it wasn't called quizzes. But under quizzes are the 6 homeworks and the 3 exams. Oh, there's a bell right outside my window here. You are going to hear this bell throughout the various videos, so that's where the bell is coming from. Anyway, what you'll see here are 6 homeworks and 3 exams. Basically, I'm going to be dividing this course into 3 parts. In each part, there are 2 homeworks and 1 exam. You are able to work on things as far ahead as you want to, but there is a certain point at which a certain section, a certain part is due. Obviously, in this first part here, things are going to be all due June 17th. So by June 17th, the first part is due. That means you have to have all the homeworks done for that part, the first 2, and the first exam. In the second part, all those parts are due June 27th. That would be homeworks 3 and 4 and the second exam. And then on July 8th, that's the last 2 parts, the last 2 homeworks, and the last exam. Now, what you'll see here is that for the homeworks, you get unlimited attempts. And each time you submit the homework, it will tell you what you got wrong. So there's really no reason to have less than 100% for the homeworks, as long as you're spending the time on it. Obviously, for the exams, you only get 1 attempt. So you really want to make sure that you spend the time, you have enough time to finish these homeworks, because it may take you 5 times, 10 times, 15 times to get the right answers for the entire homework. It only takes your highest score for the homeworks. So, and I don't care how many times you do it, it doesn't, there's no impact on your grade based on the number of times that you do it. You want to do it as not the amount of time it takes to get a perfect grade. And these homeworks are important. They're important because the 6 homeworks together count for the same amount of grade as a single exam. So basically, there are all the homeworks together are 25%. Each exam is worth 25% of your grade. So 3 exams, 75%. All the homeworks, the remaining 25%. So that's all under the quiz section. Grades. Obviously, for grades, you're going to see your 3 exams, your scores that are out of 100 points, and then your homeworks. It says it's out of 10 points. I think there are basically like 30 questions per homework. But it makes the math simpler. It's basically your percentage score. So if I got 50% of the questions correct, this would be 5 out of 10. And then the points itself shouldn't really matter that much. What you should care about is basically the percentage. And then we have the content. Under the content, you will see the syllabus, a document I strongly urge you that we're going to go over, but I strongly urge you to read it yourself. You are then going to see the typed up lecture notes for the 18 chapters. And then you're going to see videos that I myself have made. Now, based on the constraints that are within the system, the videos are limited to like 10 to 15 minutes each. So you're going to see part 1 of 2, part 2 of 2, part 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3. And you'll see this for all the chapters that you're responsible for. I encourage you to read them or to watch them. It's pretty easy to watch them. Unless you don't like looking at me, then I suppose it would be very hard to watch them. And then for each of the exams, you'll see a study and review guide and a copy of the old exam. Now, the old exam here, this was given for the physical course. Obviously, for this is going to be done on D2L. Okay. But you'll see, again, I give you old exams and a study and review guide for each. All the videos, which I encourage you to watch. And let's just click on one here if you want to see it. I believe it will come up. Now, there are some browsers where apparently this doesn't work well. But here it is.
Lecture is a rather extensive lecture, and it's probably the one thing...
Okay, so basically, I'm using Firefox, and this works fine. There are other browsers where I've heard it does not work well, but I can guarantee you it works on Firefox as a browser. Again, I don't really know what other browsers it works on, but I do know it works on Firefox. Okay, so those are all the videos, which you can just open with simple click here. The typed up lecture notes, these are PDF documents which we'll download. And then you have the book, which you would presumably be reading as well, which I would encourage you to get. Okay. Let's look at the syllabus then. Okay, so for the syllabus, as we look over this here, I give you my contact information. I would strongly encourage that you use email rather than coming to my office. Not that I wouldn't want to see you, but it's just how it is during the summer. It's the easiest way to contact me. I then basically give you a description of this course. This is Econ basically the second semester of the sequence. You should have taken Econ 210. And the first third of the course is not an entire repetition of that, but it's the same thing. Supply, demand, what is economics, how are economic decisions made. So that part should be a review of what you've had before. Even if you had it a long time ago, I do try to go slow, so you should be able to catch up pretty quickly. And then the second and the third parts are completely new parts then, unless you've had this course before, I suppose. In section 2, we basically look at why are the supply curve and the demand curve shaped the way they are. How is it that individual households and firms make decisions? And then in the final part of the course, we look at how firms are organized. We look at how prices are determined in reality by firms that have varying degrees of pricing power. We look at the role of the government, and we even try to look at poverty and inequality issues. I have the learning outcomes here. Right, what is it that I expect that you will learn basically in this course as general, why is it that your programs require you to take this, or even if you're taking this for Gen Ed, why is this a general education requirement? The textbook, as I suggested here. I can't stress enough this time commitment issue. Read that portion. I understand some of you are going to be working 40 hours a week. I fully understand that. I hope that you're not taking multiple online classes and working at the same time, because then it might be very difficult. I mean, you have to remember this is a 4-week class, but it's the same amount of material as is covered during the semester. It's going to mean a lot of work per week, and so keep that in mind. It would be very difficult to do this all on the day it's due and say, I'm going to commit the whole day just to doing all the homeworks and then take the exam. You're not going to get the kind of grade that you want. So it's just a warning for you. And it's given the short time period, I'm not really able to give you extensions. I give you a brief thing about electronic etiquette. Just basically, when you're writing emails, there should be a small degree of formality. I'm not trying to be like, I'm not trying to say that you have to bow to me or anything like that, the equivalent of it, but just, proper salutations, maybe a subject line if you want to, but that's not that necessary. Now, I don't give extra credit. I won't be having you allowing extensions. Everyone's got to stick to the time period, basically. So keep that in mind. It's all out there already. If you know that you've got something coming up for the 4th of July weekend or something like that, just keep that in mind with your schedule and work ahead. It's one of the reasons why I let you work ahead. Assignments, as I said, you get unlimited attempts. Exams, multiple choice questions and short answer questions. Within that, you get only one chance. The grading scale, as listed here. Academic integrity. Basically, don't cheat. But obviously, it's more complicated than that. So do read it. If you're in doubt, always ask me a question. If you have a learning disability, you should be contacting the Disability Services Office, and then they will contact me. Basically, for this course, that would basically be, do you need more time to complete the exam? The exams here are, you get 90 minutes for each exam. And then basically the outline of the course. Again, Part 1, Sunday, June 17th. Part 2, Wednesday, June 27th. So that's like a week and a half later. And then another week and a half would be Part 3. So basically the first part is 1 week. The other 2 parts are week and a half time periods. And that's primarily because Part 1 should be a little bit easier than Parts 2 and 3. Part 2 is probably the hardest, and then Part 3 is second hardest. And then I basically just outline the chapters that you would have to be covering for each part. I'll communicate a lot with you by email. I'm not the kind of person that's just going to be like, okay, course is started, and then the second email you get from me is, okay, course is done. You'll get emails from me about reminders of things being due. If I notice errors, keeping you updated on grades. I do try to grade things rather quickly. I have to manually grade the exams. I try to get them done within a week time period, but probably since it's the summer, it'll probably be a little bit less because this is the only course I'm teaching. Okay, that's basically the course. If you have any questions, you should be emailing me, but all this material, as soon as the course starts, on June 9th, on June 11th, this should all be available to you on that date. Okay, so that basically completes this introduction video.